only yesterday, Ifeanyi Ubah was said to have emerged the state FA chairman in Anambra as far as football is concerned. But people who were involved, so to say, administratively, were meant to contest the election, are saying election is meant to hold today and not yesterday.
I was really shocked, with the news yesterday when the news, trickled in and the result defined, as a mighty Anambra FA. I was surprised because I know Ifeanyi Ubah, is a sworn supporter of Mike Ume, who Anambra FA. So I'm really surprised that election took place. He emerged the chairman and won Jude Obikwelu emerging as the vice chairman, and the election took place on a date that was not scheduled for it. But surprisingly, the president of Nigeria Football Federation, without asking any question, without waiting for any form of petition, went ahead to congratulate Ifeanyi Ubah for emerging chairman of Anambra FA in an election that's supposed to hold today and not yesterday. There are things to do, and you are supposed to take caution when you do things with so much impunity. You are bound to run into problems. There are a lot of questions to be asked, but where will Anambra FA go from here? It has been reading with crisis over time. Even some of our
election should have held 2 years.
Yes, even some of our senior colleagues from Anambra State, the likes of Tony Nezianya and Emeka Odipo, they've also been in the forefront, pushing for Anambra FA to have the rightful people that will run football in that state. But be that it may, now it is just the beginning of another crisis, but in the state FA.
The beginning of another crisis in the State Football Association. Good afternoon to you. But then at this point in time, you want to take a look at Manchester City, Real Madrid tonight in the UEFA Champions League. A lot expected tonight, Adams.
Honestly, yesterday was a prelude to what we're going to see today, because somehow I had that hunch that Manchester City will carry the day. Like I said the other day on this platform, that they look like the dark horse, which they are, because instead for 2004, FC Porto was the dark horse, 2012, Chelsea was the dark horse, and this is another dark horse. So it's the news of what has been coming from the past. So something tells me that today's match, Manchester City will carry the day.
Well, Man City will carry the day, Omar, indeed, for Pep Guardiola. It shouldn't be a treble when it comes to trophies. He will get the Bundesliga, but then the Champions League will not be delivered to fans at the Allianz Arena before he would depart for Manchester City. Good afternoon to you, Omar.
Right, good afternoon, Miyen. Very good to be on your show once again. And instead of achieving a treble for Bayern Munich, Pep Guardiola actually achieved a treble of failure against Spanish teams. First was Real Madrid, second was Barcelona, and of course yesterday he failed to go past Atletico Madrid.
The shocking as far as the Champions League is concerned. But we'll try to establish contact once again with Omar Katuba. It's a live situation, and sometimes you get to experience a form of challenges, and then we'll get across to Omar. But quickly, let's take a look at what is happening in the world of basketball, where indeed the NBBF is preparing for the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. 27 players already listed for camping ahead of the Rio 2016 Games. We will be playing America in a friendly match, and then indeed at this point in time to make up his mind.
There's still the need for the leadership of the Nigeria Basketball Federation to convince him that he has a better future playing for Nigeria, and not do what England used to do to Nigerian stars who are born in their country. When it comes to sport in the US, it's always a different board game. You could see it just needs, some kind of consistent, conviction, and he will definitely play for Nigeria. But if you look at it, all the other players, some of them are yet to, step their feet on in
flying their trade in Europe. Well, in Europe and America, were shortlisted after they gave their consent that they will like to represent their fatherland. And interestingly, we can indeed confirm that the NBA players will join camp on the 1st of July. On the 5th of July, the team will fly to China, where it is expected to participate in the Stankovic Cup between the 6th and the moment for the Tigers African champions.
No, it's a great one, Miyen, because basically if you look at the composition of the players, these are players who are exposed to modern coaching techniques in the game. And if you take your mind back to 4 years ago in London with the horror show there, nobody, even an ordinary Nigerian wouldn't like to witness the same thing. So this time we are casting our nets here and there to get the best players, even if they are of Nigerian descent, no matter how infinitesimal the contact is or the connection is, because we want the best. They play week in, week out against the American players in the NBA and the ones on the European circuit. And for NBBF, this is the first time I'm doffing my hat to them, because they have a long program, and I pray it works according to plan. If they follow it to the letter, obviously we're going to get a strong team and we're going to do well, because it gives me hope, and for many other Nigerians that it's not going to be like what we experienced in London 2012. This time we're going to be a challenger for it, like that. Just say, not just being there in part of the numbers, but being a challenger. And when you challenge well, it gives hope that something might come out of the challenge, and luck is another aspect, which I'm believing God that with our determination, the fact that we're always determined to outdo, no matter the odds we face, we're going to do something. And this basketball team, the Tigers, are going to achieve something special.
Basketball, not so much money is being pumped in by the sports ministry, but then to a large extent, even when there were worries, when there were fears that the preparation didn't start much more earlier, indeed we could see, or we can rather see, some form of preparations, lined out effectively by the NBBF. But let's take a look at a body that you expect a better organization, a better or the biggest brand when it comes to sports in Nigeria. But in most cases, what you get to report is negativity, but people indeed don't learn lessons. And on this platform, some were of the opinion that it doesn't really matter if a Joseph Yobo is having his testimonial on the 27th of May, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria is also having a friendly match in faraway France on the 27th of May. But at this point in time, the major actors of the game are talking tough, and it is sad that such a thing is coming up in this part of the world. Shame indeed on those who are behind this. But then reports reaching us on this platform has it that there are strong indications that several top stars may opt out of the Super Eagles friendlies against the Eagles of Mali and Luxembourg later this month. And some players have already contacted the Nigeria Football Federation saying they wish to withdraw from the matches, which are now aimed at preparing the country for the 2018 World Cup qualifiers starting in October. Some of the players went further to say that they are tired, they want to rest, while others made it clear that they want to indeed be a part of the Port Harcourt showdown, where Joseph Yobo will be having stars across the globe to indeed have his testimony at that point.
Well, yes, somebody who has been so vocal on the issue is Emmanuel Menike. He has very clear, and he said it is his personal opinion for the Nigeria Football Federation to agree to play, a friendly on May 27, the same day that a super captain like in the mode of Joseph Yobo will also be having his testimony, and is a big insult on Nigerian football. It's a big insult on the soccer stars who had actually played for Nigeria. Some of the other players, some of the regular ones, have said that they prefer to play in that testimonial because of the colorful. There's going to be a very colorful event, and I don't really want to blame these players for this. because playing in friendlies that we don't even have a definite coach. The coach that will handle them, in those friendlies, definitely maybe by June will be another coach. There will be another coach that will start to tinker the team. So they are not seeing any seriousness on the side of the Nigerian Football Federation. And even if they say they want to use those two, friendlies to prepare the team by a particular coach, and another coach will come in June and start his own fresh preparation, his own fresh invitations. So they are not seeing the NFF has been serious, and they said that they are so resolute on what they want to do. They want to play in Yobo testimony, and that's what we want to do. And some of them have actually said, we are tired, we'll be tired by that time. We'll be tired, we cannot play. Those who said they will be tired, you see them in Port Harcourt. That's it. Definitely you see them in Port Harcourt.
Omar, a lot is happening back home in Nigeria. Testimonial date is the 27th of May, that is this month, and then the Super Eagles will also be engaged in another international friendly match out there in France against the Eagles of Mali. But right now, players are calling to say we want to be a part of our own, just as you were in Port Harcourt, because the national team is not attractive anymore. No thanks to those who are mismanaging the national team, a big brand like the Eagles today.
Well, first and foremost, this is a very poor, organization from the NFF. I think that there should have been, there should have been proper communication. Joseph Yobo is an important player. He has given his best to Nigeria. Had more than 100 cards. He should not be treated in this manner. But having said that, the Nigerian national team is also important. The national team was prepared for the 2018 World Cup qualifiers, having failed to qualify for the African Nations Cup. So preparations must begin in earnest. But what I think they should have done was to have communicated to Joseph Yobo's and his team, to agree that Yobo moved his testimonial a bit forward, because he cannot move an international friendly game because of the FIFA free window. FIFA free windows don't come every time. So whenever he comes, he must utilize it. So that's why I think the NFF should have been able to communicate to Yobo to move it a bit further, so that the players will have the chance to play for Yobo. Because the players want to pay their respect to a captain, in order to send a message to younger players that you must honor players who have given their best to fatherland. So there's a bit of dilemma right now on the part of the players. And that is because the NFF have not planned their plays, properly. I would not blame the players, like Dapo said. The players want to want to pay respect, and in solidarity with a former captain and a friend. So I think that the NFF should have been, more meticulous in terms of information management.
Quite agree with you when you say the Football Federation should have communicated with Joseph Yobo probably to move forward, his testimonial day. Yeah. You will also want to agree, if you take a look at the other side of the coin, not making a case for Joseph Yobo. Yobo is inviting top stars, from across the globe. The likes of Alexandra Song, who also play in the EPL, with West Ham United, and a lot of other players. Wayne Rooney and the likes, they play with Manchester United. And now they want to use this FIFA free window date to honor Joseph Yobo. Yobo came out with this 27th May day, even before the Nigerian Football Federation thought it wise that they will be able to put together a friendly match for the Super Eagles. But by and large, could there have been a means of communication? If you have in your testimony in Port Harcourt, the Eagles also be playing in Port Harcourt and all that, but it seems there could be some form of it seems there is some form of ego and pride, in this contest. I wouldn't want to know, but that is what is the thinking right now. Omar, what's your take?
That's a very valid point you have raised. Thanks for actually reminding me, of the fact that, it's inviting global stars who would also want to utilize, that opportunity of freedom from their club to come and play for this, testimonial. But come to think of it, the clubs are going to go on break in May. The league will end in 2 weeks. Champions League will be played, and they will have 1 or 2 weeks break before preparations for Euro 2016. The ones playing in other continents, be playing for their countries in friendly games. But I think that, like I said, communication would have done a better job. Yobo would have at least, the NFF would have at least pleaded with him to maybe still move it to a time when between the first week of June, where everybody will be on a break before they resume with national teams. Apart from that, I think that it will be difficult, like I said, to shift a friendly game that is placed on a FIFA free window because of, in quote, a testimonial match. I mean, that's how I see it. But I cannot agree less with your point.
Difficult to really understand that, well, why we find it very difficult to make things work the proper way, effectively, in this part of the world.
It is quite unfortunate, and it shows a lack of planning. And in anything you do, you must be meticulous with information. You must actually plan ahead. You must make sure you carry everybody along. But with what is happening in Nigeria Football Federation, aside from the crisis that is ravaging the federation, they have also leadership crisis in taking proper decisions at the right time. And this is not good for Nigerian football. There is a need for a change on the side of the Amaju Pinnick-led NFF.
A need for a change as far as the Amaju Pinnick-led NFF is concerned. Let's indeed talk to Barrister Ike Ibukwe live on the show this afternoon. Indeed, he's talking to us live all the way from Anambra State. We'll indeed establish contact with him. But quickly, let's take a look at the Anambra election. Only yesterday, an election was said to have taken place, whereas the fixed date for the election was today. But yesterday, Ifeanyi Ubah, we're being told, became the state FA chairman unopposed. At this point in time, some persons are crying blue murder. And then the electoral committee of the Football Federation were on ground.
They were on ground in Anambra. But the one about the date, were they not communicated with when the date is supposed to be? The date is supposed to be today and not yesterday. So any election that must have taken place yesterday is null and void. I don't know why all this impunity is ravaging Nigerian football. I'm not sure it's a sign of the time, but it's just the ineptitude of those people who are in charge of football. Definitely, they have done their own yesterday. They said from the information, Ifeanyi Ubah, polled 24 votes to emerge as chairman of Anambra FA. Then another person that won.
I'm sorry to cut you short, Dr. Sotiminu. Let's indeed take you live to Anambra State, where we have Barrister Ike Ibukwe live on the line. Good afternoon, you all live to the program Sport Edge on Galaxy Television.
Yes, that's my dear.
Indeed, a lot is happening as far as football is concerned in the country. We were being told that an election took place yesterday in Anambra State, and the chairman of Ifeanyi Ubah Football Club became the new state FA chairman in Anambra. Ike Ibukwe, what's your take on this? Did any election take place? We were being told also that the date fixed for the election was today.
Yes, I will start by saying that, it is a duty, and I work for the country, that some men that are occupying serious sensitive positions in Nigerian football, people like Isi Chukwuemeka, that is the chairman of Abia State Football Association, and people like Chidi Nwato, that is the chairman of Enugu Football Association, and even Senator Inopa, the distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of people will go and buy forms to contest election, and an electoral committee will come and give the timetable for elections, and all of a sudden they enter into one secret hotel room by 7 o'clock in the morning and propose to do an election, and then go on air to start deceiving Nigerians. So let Nigerians know from Barrister Akiri, the flashlight of Nigerian football, the man they trust to always tell them the truth, that there was no election in Anambra yesterday, Tuesday. The election is supposed to be held today, Wednesday.
Well, you said the election is supposed to take place today, and then yesterday we're being told that Ifeanyi emerged the chairman of the new the state FA. But looking at the way things are, do we have contestants, today around for the election in Anambra?
Yes, after they did their purported kangaroo election by 7 o'clock in the morning yesterday, then all of them disappeared into the air. Maybe they went to Ifeanyi house and they go and enjoy themselves, thinking that they have looted Anambra State. So there is no electoral committee to conduct the election. The people have been coming. People that know that today is the original date of the election. As I said, what I am telling you is that we have the chairman of the Anambra Football Nomination Committee, on tape, both on video and on audio, where he said that election will hold on Wednesday. So this is not a long talk. This is not a long talk.
But Mr. Ike, we understand that representatives of the Nigeria Football Federation were also on ground yesterday, and they also approved the election yesterday. Do you think the Football Federation may have fairly or unfairly, whichever way, support what you see as a criminal election in Anambra yesterday?
No, it's NSS likes. Let them go and bring it out and FIFA to come and report that they did an election they are supposed to do yesterday. That doesn't make any meaning now. The important thing is that elections are supposed to hold today, Wednesday, 4th of May, according to the timetable. So nobody, be it NFS or anybody, can come and do a secret election by 7 a.m. on Tuesday. In fact, actually, the people from the NSF that came for that thing, including Senator Pino that came for that thing, they are a disgrace to Nigerian football and the Nigerian nation. Because it is clear that the elections will hold on Wednesday, so they cannot come in on Tuesday and then come and do election by 7 o'clock in the morning. Where in the world does elections hold by 7 o'clock in the morning? Is it a secret court election? Meanwhile, let me tell Nigerians the timetable for the election as announced by the electoral body. On Saturday, local council's elections to take place. On Monday, the illegal sale of forms that they opened for Ifeanyi and the JDC will be to buy from when after the deadline has closed. We now close on Monday by 11 a.m. Screening of candidates starts by 11:30. On Tuesday, being that yesterday that they are purporting to do election by 7 a.m., they will publish the list of candidates that are successful in the screening. Then Wednesday, the election proper takes place. So, is it possible that after you finish a screening process by around 7 in the night, you started sending text messages to successful candidates that they are successful and that you communicate the time and venue of election by 10 in the night? Then, how is it possible that you go and do election by 7 a.m.? And what kind of an electoral body will finish doing screening on Monday, not allowing 1 or 2 days for people that either were disqualified and want to petition, or for people that were not qualified and they want to somebody wants to petition against them? What kind of an electoral body will finish doing screening process by 7 in the night and then do election by 7 in the morning? It is silly and selfless. Let them stop fooling themselves around before Nigerians, because the truth is there. The election of Anambra FA was scheduled to hold on Wednesday, 4th of May.
Well, Barrister Akiri, as a stakeholder, where do you go from here?
No, there is nowhere to go from here. It is for the NSF that appointed the Anambra Nomination Committee, and that sent to somebody there to come and free himself at that kangaroo election by 7 a.m. in the morning. So do the right thing, cancel the entire elections, because now it is clear that the nomination committee is not credible. They are not an unbiased umpire. And we start from the scratch from local councils. Because let me tell you, that Anambra SA election is not only the state SA election that is modeled. It was modeled right from the local council's election, where a community competition called the B2B Cup, played among local towns in Anambra State, was used to conduct election into local council, giving out clubs that played in 2015 and 2016 Anambra Federation Cup that is organized by NSS. So that is what this. So the way out is that NSS will set a new committee that will come here, allow the right delegates to conduct local government elections, and the right delegates are no other clubs than the clubs that played the Federation Cup 2015 and 2016. Then from there we can go to the state elections. But the NSF president, Amaju Melvin Pinnick, already congratulated Ifeanyi Ubah. Yes, Amaju Pinnick is actually the main problem. He is the person that is sponsoring Ifeanyi Ubah and causing all these problems, giving directives to the nomination committee that they must deliver Ifeanyi. So I'm not surprised that he's congratulating him. That I'm telling him that his congratulation will go down the drain and that Nigerians will see him for what he is. And what he is that he is somebody that does not do well for Nigerian football at all. And it's not he resigns from that office, the better for Nigerian football. He's a stupid man. How can you set up an Anambra nomination committee from NFF and the same you are sponsoring Ifeanyi Ubah? So what kind of election do you want to emanate from there? So it will resign honorably. Because we are coming at him with different petitions to different quarters, to Mr. President, to the sports minister. He must resign with this one. This one is one sin too many for Pinnick Amaju. Well, if you don't is your friend, two of you can deliver to his private jet. But you can't come here and come and dictate the Anambra nomination committee to make sure they install Ifeanyi. And Ifeanyi that is not qualified, that did not even buy Anambra the chairmanship form for that election. Well, very furious Barrister Ike Igbokwe, and we must say a very big thank you for talking to us live on the show this afternoon. Please, thank you very much. It's so annoying. Thank you very much. Well, indeed, Ike Igbokwe bearing his mind on the election that took place yesterday. His words, not my words, but he can go out there and indeed judge. Well, let's indeed take a look at some of the reaction, from Ike Igbokwe, but then let's celebrate an icon, a legend, someone who did well for Nigerian football. 4 years on, we will continue to celebrate the life and time of the Gangler one, Rashidi Yekini. Let's take a look at some of his goals. When we come back, Khalid Tijani will be joining us in the studio.
Kimi is forward, just outside the area. Good piece of defending by Uchev. Didn't get in, but now they've got in. Yekini coming for the cross. Goal! In the Clemens Westerhoff said that the only team he's seen so far, Clemens Westerhoff, their coach of Nigeria, the only team he's seen that bothers him is Brazil. But here Nigeria now with a chance for a second, and they score it, and Amokachi is the scorer. And the Nigerians have the Brazilian touch. So does Yekini. Mustafa Mikhailov is now racing back into goal. George, man coming into the back, score! Amunike, third for Nigeria.
Welcome back. In case you've just tuned in, you're watching the program Sport Extra Station, Galaxy Television, and joining us live on the show is Kayode Tijani. Kayode, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, how are you doing?
Very much fine. 4 years on, we still celebrate the lifetime of a legend, Rashidi Yekini.
Yeah, we're very sad actually. I mean, you should be celebrating and be very happy. I'm not. 4 years on, every year, I still feel the depression about what happened. Rashidi Yekini, top most ever scorer in Nigeria's football history. One of Africa's football's greatest names ever. Died like that, no inquiries, nothing. And to make it worse, a lot of terrible stories went about how he lived his life, which is a really huge disservice to the guy, everything he did for Nigeria. And I'm sorry, we in the media didn't really do enough to let people know all these are lies. Lie number one and the biggest lie in the world, that Akiri is insane. Absolutely sad for somebody who's done what he's done for Nigeria. That guy cannot be more sane than you and I. Rashidi Akiri during his playing career had too much publicity because everybody wanted part of him. It was that big, huge. This is the African footballer of the year. It's everything. I mean, the film I was still watching this morning, Akiri destroying Real Madrid, Fabio Capello's Real Madrid then with 2 goals and everything. That's how big he was. I mean, he did everything. Nigeria first ever go at the World Cup and all. Same instant for what? You see, I have some clips of Akiri in training in Papenda. Akiri is really funny. He can rival Alibaba when it comes to being funny. Those films showed me Akiri making jokes. Keshi, everybody, they were laughing like they wanted to die. But I followed that West House team everywhere they went to. And what happens is, after that training, he goes and locks himself in his room. That's the kind of person he is. Well, it's not like all of us are, extroverts. But I would say being an introvert is a crime. So to make matters worse, some people said he was broke, he had no money. Which money? I produced with the Jamoto Ibo first 11 for Guinness. And those who won, of course, the studio number 9, of course. Those who won got some millions. There's no need to mention the amount. Those former players who won in Nigeria's history got some millions. We took his own millions to him. It was like he doesn't know what you're talking about. You can ask Dimeji Lawal this. They were very close, So he now told Dimeji, who was telling him, Baba, you could collect this money. He was like, hey, if you want the money, collect it. He doesn't care. And that's Nigeria International. That's how big Akiri was. And that's how he doesn't care about money. I'm not telling you, when people say Akiri was broke, I'm like, what are you talking about? An ex-international played with him, called me. Where are you? I need you to talk to Akiri for me. He must accept my proposal. I want to propose that during the World Cup, as I did, I don't want to mention the year because it's so easy to know. It was like a big station in South Africa wanted Akiri to come and be the analyst. Anything, they want English, whatever. The money on offer was amazing. Crazy money. He said he's not interested. So if he was broke, how can he? I took his films. He wanted all his clips of his goals to him at Badon. So, entered his car, we're talking about old times, and all of a sudden, he's like, now like, take this 10,000 for your transport. I said, that's my car, bro. He said, my friend, I'm older than you. Don't take this money, don't call me again. You understand? I said, you know what, it's an interview I want. So if he's dashing out, he was giving widows money, he was giving mosques and churches money. This guy, don't forget, his house is in Spain when he was playing there, his house in Cote d'Ivoire, his house in Portugal, bringing money to his house in State Bank in Ibadan. So how can he be broke? So, and for him, you see what happened with his death was like kidnap. The family tried it once at the stadium, the Liberty Stadium in Ibadan, and the Federal Police or whatever they call it.
But then,
make sure it didn't happen. But what was follow up? They went. His mom was deceived into saying his son is insane. The son who was feeding you and your mom, the mom, grandmom, they told him, she bought it. If Akiri family, the mom and the younger ones were not there, nobody could trick him into. Then you took him. He said you want to go and heal him. Next, he was dead.
Well, Adams, let me come to you. There's this touching aspect of the country, Nigeria. I keep talking about value. Recently there was a story, in the music industry that then a particular person tried taking his or her life and all that. And then, in the law, it is expected that even when you try to commit suicide, you should face the consequences. Now you talk about a hero, a legend, who indeed went through all this, and no form of investigation, nobody was charged, for any form of a manslaughter and all that.
I think it's quite painful because basically he's a hero, and not just the hero, he has contributed so much to the history of Nigerian football. 1993 was the African Footballer of the Year. I was a kid there growing up, watched him. He was growing, he was a spectacular player. Like Tijani just said, it's something different, but he also, just like he said, he brought them to the value system. What value do we attach to life here? We just look at it as one of those things. A hero, no investigation, no nothing, and people just carry it along that it's one of those things. It's a shame because if you watch his rise, you know that this guy was focused, purposeful, and whatever he wanted to do, he did it with sense of purpose and sincerity. Now, not just him, we are pained because we have grown up. We're supposed to be seeing more. We're supposed to be seeing his memo and so many other things, and even his anthology. We're supposed to get them, just like he just spoken about now. It should be in one of the things in the archives, in the library, and the museum. But yet, this is somebody. Nobody, even the police have not helped matters. Nobody like. Come to think of the people who spoke about it, it just boils down to the same thing. Am I going to say it's poverty? No, it's just the mentality, the orientation. We've not gotten there yet. People have not achieved up to the level that Yekini has achieved, have been celebrated and immortalized all over Europe and even other African countries. So it's the value system. The moment we appreciate life and value whom we have, celebrate them now, not when they are dead. Even in our national anthem, we say, let the heroes of our past not be in vain, but sadly it's all in vain.
Well, that was just your take on what has happened so far over the years, and no one seems to be saying anything. Nobody's concerned.
You know, why be quiet? You know, I believe it was because of the involvement of the family.
Well, indeed, I'm sorry to cut you short. Let's indeed connect you straight to the Yaba College of Technology and take a look at what is happening. Good afternoon to you. Indeed, we have one of the coaches as far as the ongoing all-commerce gates is concerned. And Coach, good afternoon to you on to the program Sport Edge on Galaxy Television. Hello? Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. Hello?
Hello? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Let's take a look at the event at the Yaba College of Technology. So far, so good. How will you rate the standard?
Sorry.
Well, indeed, this contact once again. Time indeed not our friend. You were saying something.
Yeah. The involvement of the family, you know, actually slowed down everything. The mom, you know, being
Isn't that
part and parcel. No, not sentiment. When it comes to that, you know, this is a Nigerian factor. This is a
Nigerian.
Yes, and this is a Nigerian.
This has got to do with human life.
Yeah, the involvement of the family slowed down everything. If it tried not to be, a lot of people by now should have been in jail. If they to be in a developed country, even the mom will have been arrested, you know, and put to jail. For you to do such disservice to Nigeria, a very big, you know, hero of such, you know, statue was taken away from us just like that. Somebody is very, very bitter, and up to tomorrow will still be bitter. I'm talking about Chief Miyen Akiri, who was with him a week to Yasu Yakini death. Who was with him, we discussed a project. Yakini, you know, agreed to commit millions into that project. The following week, this man was dead. And I felt so bitter, you know, when I saw Yakini's corpse covered with the white, you know, clothing and a blood stain, even in death. So you could imagine what must have been done to this hero of Nigeria, to this hero of Africa, to this hero of world football.
Well, time indeed not our friend, and it's time to call it a day. Kabir Tijani, your final message quickly before we go.
Samuel Afaji, Muda Lawal, Rashidi Yekini, I can go on and on. At the end of the day, you don't do justice to them, and I feel so sorry. I regret it sometimes when you come on TV and I start talking about these new players not being competent. What do you know? They know the history.
Well, that's the much time will permit us on the show this afternoon until we come your way again tomorrow. Miyen Akiri conducts the production crew within you. Good afternoon.